Hey everyone, and welcome to Already Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Twin Peaks Season 2, Episode 12. It's called The Black Widow. Full spoilers for the episode. No, it has nothing to do with Marvel or Scarlett Johansson, or anything like that.
What a surprise.
They never know. Not that Lynch is involved in this episode that much, but like, he's good at predicting things. Sometimes he... Honestly, finding out that there's a hint in one of his old movies for something that's about to happen in the next couple of years would just feel like it makes sense. Yeah, of course there was a hint. Of course, there was a hint for the future in one of his movies.
That's fair.
As far as this episode goes, I think I liked it a bit more than the last one. There's a couple of plot lines I'm kind of into. Not all of them.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Not all of them. The James stuff with the rich woman,
I don't understand what's happening still. Like, what is the point of this? What is it doing?
Do you know the worst part as well is that, so the first scene we get of this plot in this episode, the wife's brother comes into the room and he's like, oh yeah, I'm such and such, I'm Evelyn's brother. And I was like, wait, another character? What's this? What are we doing now? Who are you and why are you talking?
I don't understand what the purpose of this is. Like, what is this doing? I don't get it.
I don't know. I really don't get it at all. We find out that she gets beaten up by her husband, and he's been doing that for years. But the husband's so rich and powerful that the brother has never been able to intervene because he's scary or something.
Yeah,
something like that. I don't.
Okay.
I don't care. She kisses James at one point, and then the husband shows up. She's like, "Oh balls, I better go."
Do you know what the problem is? Because I know nothing about this woman, I don't care that she gets beaten. Oh, that sounds bad, but it's not giving me a reason to care about her specifically. Well, it's bad as a concept, but her, why should I care about her?
Oh, sure. I think just the phrase "I don't care if she gets beaten" is maybe something you shouldn't utter out loud. Maybe the point. I get the point.
Context that is not great.
I get the point you're making, but just think about how you say
it. Contextually, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I have nothing to say on that. It was tedious to get through.
Else to say. Yeah.
Honestly, when it got to those scenes, it was Twitter time on the phone. That was kind of what those scenes were for me. Is when it got to those scenes, it was time for that. So that was the thing. So the brother, the journalist who married the young girl, the Black Widow in question of the movie, the episode. He dies at the start. He dies of a heart attack, presumably while they're having sex. There's lots of sex books kicking around, and I didn't really care about any of this because this also feels kind of random. Later on in the episode, there were some fun scenes to come from it because for some reason, when she's at the police station in her black dress and she's with Hawk at first, all the men, the sheriff, Dick, Andy, everyone starts sort of like just paying attention to her, like they're mesmerised.
Do you know what my favourite moment was? See, one of my neighbours was drilling while I was watching, so I had the subtitles on. And you know when they're all staring at us, Dick makes a comment and then Andy lets out a little sigh.
Mm-hmm.
It just the subtitle just says Andy swoons.
Because it was really funny because in the background Lucy noticed them all paying attention and she stormed off in a huff. And then it cut to another scene where Lucy seems to be on her own in the police station and the phone rings and she tries to get the sheriff and he's not responding. And we get all these shots. Like, it's almost like at the end of Halloween or the start of Alien where it's showing you all the places in the police station. They're all empty. Yeah. And it's like building up the suspense. And I'm like, what's happening? This feels weird.
Where is everyone? We didn't see anyone leave.
I like this scene, but I don't understand how we cut into it like this.
Yeah.
And then she goes looking, she puts the phone down, she goes into the sheriff's office, and he's there with all the other guys, and the Black Widow is telling her stories, and everyone's paying attention. And I'll give it a little bit of credit. There was actually a nice little bit of direction here where you couldn't see Andy at first, and then as she walks in, the camera pans around more, and you see Andy's also in the room paying attention.
And he's giving her the milk.
So you get that Lucy's even more upset about it, which is another funny thing with Lucy is when Dick comes in to tell Andy about the kid. We'll get to the kid in a minute, but when he comes in to tell her about the kid, she thinks he's there for him, and she starts like sort of just checking her hair and frothing it up, and Dick comes in and goes, "Oh, Andrew." he walks off to talk to Andrew, and I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
because she looks just confuddled by the whole thing. So that plot was okay, just in terms of the fun elements to it.
Yeah, definitely.
The actual implication that she's luring in men and then killing them or has bad luck with them.
I'm kind of indifferent on it.
Yeah, I'm indifferent to that.
I don't hate it. I don't like it, but but I like the fun that it's given us.
Yeah, so that's fair. You mentioned you had subtitles on. I also had subtitles on, not because anyone was doing any DIY work in the vicinity, but because there was in the opening scene in particular, there was lines of dialogue I was missing because the sound mix was bad.
Yeah, I was noticing that. I wasn't sure it was entirely, the fault of the mix this time.
Yeah, because
especially when the thunderstorm was on.
The thunderstorm, later on when they're in the Briggs house was quite bad because there was music playing as well, and it just felt too loud.
Yeah.
The one that really bothered me at the start, and this is why I turned the subtitles on, is because Bobby comes into Ben's office, and Ben says something like, "Bobby, something, or do you know something," and I didn't hear the question. I had no idea what he said. So I was like, alright, subtitles are going on, because the drum beat was just going nuts, and I just couldn't hear a goddamn
that's
thing.
two in a row now. So
not in a row.
Maybe we just have to...
Wasn't last week, it was not last week, last episode.
Was it
was one before.
I'm thinking I might just have to keep the subtitles on for now, if this is the case.
It wasn't as persistent as that last one where we really complained, where it felt like every scene was like that, but there was a couple of key scenes that were really sticking out as this is difficult to hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because of the sound mix. The music's just too loud, or the thunder's just too loud, or whatever.
Yeah, and I get like the thunder, it's like, yeah, you want atmosphere, but I still need to be able to hear what they're saying. It
was also really persistent thunder. It was going off like every 3-5 seconds.
Yeah.
It was like ridiculous. We get it, right? There's a storm. Spread it out a bit. Punctuate. Yeah. Less is more. Less is more.
It is. It's not that. It's just not necessary.
But yeah, we mentioned the kid, and this is actually one of my favourite new plot of the show.
I was like, I don't know if I hate this or absolutely love it.
Now, admittedly, it may not be a good plot per se, but I'm loving it. The idea that this, which by the way, so the kid's name's Little Nicky, and it's funny that this is where the plot went, because when they first started calling him Little Nicky, I kept thinking of that stupid Adam Sandler movie where he's the son of the devil.
Yeah.
Right? So the plot in this, the plot with this kid is that his parents, they're talking about him being from an orphanage, and like, oh, so what happened to his parents? And he died. It was under extreme circumstances. I can't remember the exact phrase.
Mysterious.
There you go. And then Dick almost has an accident because he's fixing a tyre, and little Nicky pretends, "Oh, Dick, Uncle Dick, are you okay?" But he's concerned that he might be the spawn of Satan, so he comes to Andy and asks about it. And we even get this stupid little visual effect where Andy's visualising him in a devil outfit in his head.
That cracked me up.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But everything about it, the idea that he's an evil child, like,
I know.
I think more than any other plot that they've started since this part of the show's went on, this is the one that feels the most kind of absurd in a good way.
Yeah, definitely. It was like, when he was out fixing the car and the kid turns around and the sinister music comes in, and then it all just folds down.
I think, honestly, my only fault of that scene is that if it wasn't for the music, I really wouldn't have suspected the kid had anything to do with it, because he didn't do anything. He turned around and the music played. It was like, wait, is he using telekinesis to make the car fall? Oh dear. So
basically, the kid killed his parents, is what they're telling us at the moment.
That's what they're implying. At this juncture, that's what they're implying.
Yeah.
So obviously we're kind of into the whole Cooper's partner thing, and I've heard that gets quite good. That's maybe the thing that elevates the show once it starts to come into it properly. There's not much of this other than that he predicted what Cooper's response to the chess move was, because Cooper, not knowing how to contact him because he's in hiding, he put it out in the classifieds in the newspaper. He snuck the message in there, like sort of hidden. I don't even know what hidden. It may have just been blatant. I don't know, but he put it in the classified. I'm assuming you have to at least dress it up as if it is an advertisement.
I doubt they care if you're paying them.
That's also true. But he already sent his next response, so he's a mysterious man who can predict things.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting. Cooper's shopping for a new house. He goes and looks at the mysterious place that for some reason people keep leaving, rather than the nice places that the real estate agents show you.
Yeah, and with the name, what was it, like Dead Dog something?
Yeah, Dead Dog Farm, I think it was.
Yeah. Well, I wonder why people don't want to stay in that.
That's the one I want. Take me to that. And luckily, and it seems like the reason why people don't stay in it is because people use it for criminal activity, and he finds evidence of things, and this all ties up with his investigation, or the investigation to him, not his investigation per se, but investigation of him. Which actually, so I'm actually really delighted. My other thing, the reason why I kind of like this episode more as well, was that it turns out Audrey with the Bobby thing was more that she was kind of playing him. At least it seems that way at this point. And I was really happy with that revelation because it felt kind of weird to just randomly make her interested.
Yeah, and she was like overly interested as well.
Yeah. Whereas now we see her sneak into a little door and then she comes to Cooper with the evidence, the photographs that Ben made Bobby go get. And it's evidence that he can use to prove his innocence and prove what's going on. And Jean Reno's in it and all the rest of it. But again, leading to more fun scenes. The scene, later on in that scene, when Denise walks in and Audrey feels threatened. There's like a weird mix of emotions. She feels threatened at first, and then when Denise gets closer and she can see her properly and see that it's actually David Duchovny. There's this weird mix because she says, "Oh, I didn't know there was female agents," and then Duchovny says, "More or less," which that really cracked me up.
Yeah,
and then she plants a kiss on Cooper on the way out, just to sort of make it clear, just in case Denise is going to try anything, you know.
Yeah.
Really, really. So that was a fun scene. That was good. I mean, so they use these photos to see Bernie, Norma's mother's new husband.
Yes.
And they use him. They try to lure him into not a trap, but they use him to try and okay, we'll set up a thing and we'll catch these people in the act. Now that we have you, because they scare him, Denise goes and puts this fear into him. Oh, you're violating a parole. We can send you back to prison and so on. So, yeah, I think there was a lot more in this that I enjoyed. Obviously, we've left the sort of the big mystery stuff, but from the rest of it, I enjoyed more of it. Honestly, the Nadine High School stuff, which I enjoyed a bit more last time, because it was the highlight. This episode I felt
flat a bit, didn't it?
It felt a bit weird. I think the one thing that's sticking out to me in this plot is that Mike was kind of forgotten. Then all of a sudden he seems relevant again. And I was like, oh yeah, Mike and Donna used to date, because Donna in her one scene was with him, and he's trying to pretend you're my girlfriend again, just so that...
I think what bothers me more about the plot is that it hasn't advanced. We get it, she's got strength. We get it, she thinks she's still, a teenager. That's it, we've learned nothing else about it in however many episodes. It's just the same stuff over and over again, just showing it us in different ways.
Yeah, the only thing I'll give them credit for in this, or at least the actress, is there is a legitimately wide shot of her just picking up Mike over her head.
Yeah.
And it's a wide shot, and I'm like, is there a trick here? How did they do this? Is there wires that they're hiding or what? But she legitimately looks like she's picking him up over her head. The rest of the shots, they're close up, so you can there'll be someone else holding his feet or something off the side of the frame.
Yeah.
But there's one wide shot where she legitimately has him up over her head. So even if it's a trick, it's a good trick because it looked legit.
It looked good.
It looked legit. It looked like she was actually picking him up. So
yeah.
Fair on that. We got one scene with Catherine and Pete, and Jocelyn's acting as the maid. And that was just kind of...
That was it.
Yeah, there wasn't really much
Pete's
more
going,
to it.
maybe a bit harsh on her. She's like, nah, it's cool.
Yeah, so there wasn't really much more to that. That was just kind of it. There was one scene with Norma and Ed where they kind of life kind of sucks, and we were kind of happy together, and they have a little hand-holding moment. But Hank is watching.
Yeah,
he sees this. And I think that worked a little bit for me just because... We talked about it back at the start of the show, how they seemed like they were actually better for each other, and that's why they'd kind of... Even though, yeah, sure, it's wrong to have an affair, it's wrong to go away from your marriage, but they generally seemed like they were both in relationships that were harming them.
Yes.
In one way or another. Obviously, Hank's more obvious because he's a criminal, and he's in prison and all the rest of it, and he's pretending to be better than he is, but he's really a scumbag. And Nadine's maybe not a bad person, but she was dependent, and she was not maybe fulfilling...
Yeah, and now it's a further extension of that where she's literally a child again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's just to an extreme.
So now it's not even like he's in a marriage. He's just got this burden that he has to take care of.
Pretty much. I did also like they didn't show us Hank. It just shows us the domino.
Yeah, and played his little theme.
Yeah. That was just a nice touch. It was we get it. We don't need to just show him like a big reveal.
Yeah. So Cooper and the sheriff talk to another. Person in the secret project that Major Briggs is a part of.
Yeah.
Another soldier. And they tell us some interesting information here. We connect this to the White Lodge. They say that the message... Yeah, our things are all pointed at deep space, but the message didn't come from deep space. It came from here in the woods.
It's a little bit disappointing, because it means, okay, no aliens.
Okay, sure, but he does also mention owls. He's like, was there any owls or wildlife nearby? He's like, yeah, I heard an owl, and he's like, makes
He's
sense.
like, any visual confirmation?
And he implies that this is like a high national security sort of alert type situation, but something big's going down here.
Yeah.
What that means is hard to say.
Because Cooper asks about the White Lodge, and he goes, nah, it's classified.
Yeah, I can't talk about it. Which is basically I'm saying, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, well, yeah, but it can't give you the details. Come on.
Yeah. But obviously this all comes to a head at the end of the episode when Bobby goes home and his mother's there. And he recounts the dream that we heard about, like, I don't know, when it was early this season, I think. It was lots of episodes ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
But I remembered it when he started talking about it. I'm like, yeah, I remember this. But in the diner, I remember him telling him this dream. Music is all emotional, and yeah, it was all on the sound mixing being a bit off. It was a nice enough scene. And then lightning flashes, and there's Major Briggs. And it was funny because see when he says how long I've been gone, and they say a couple of days. I really thought he was going to say, oh, it's been much longer than that.
Me too.
And instead it was the opposite. He's like, oh, it was much quicker than that.
Yeah.
But he's back, and
Got a flight jacket on by the look of it.
Yeah, he looked like a old-timey pilot almost, with the scarf and the flight jacket and the hat.
Yeah.
He looked like someone who was like from like World War II, who was flying a little
plane, yeah.
little plane, yeah. That's kind of the feeling he had. But his wife like asks if everyone's okay, or and he's like not entirely, implying that there's bad things maybe coming, or he wherever he's been, he's aware of a situation. So I'm really curious to see what he's going to say next episode, like about his adventure.
Yeah, where's he been? Because, let's say, my first leap was, time travel. Like, with the look, it was like, time travel-y stuff. But then I guess we know he is a pilot, so maybe that was just his. He just had that stuff lying around.
That said, though, when he disappeared, he wasn't wearing any of that.
He wasn't wearing that when he disappeared, no.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. I don't have a lot of theories at this point, but overall, I think this was a much stronger episode than the last two. Mainly
Definitely.
because there was a couple of plots that I was getting into, at least for the fun of it, if not for the actual plot. Nadine stuff was a bit more flat in this one. The James plot is just, I just do not care. Yeah. I do not care. Audrey had some good moments, and I like Audrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
the Briggs stuff, that was decent enough.
Yeah, no, it is. I think his return worked a lot better than his actual exit. His exit felt forced, whereas here...
Yeah, like, this felt mysterious. Whereas before, it was just like, oh, he's gone, okay.
I think the direction was just better in this episode when it came to that. Like, because we talked about how the direction was what let it down a lot the last time, whereas here it felt like... And I talked about that moment with Andy where it kind of revealed him mid-scene, and it felt like a nice little reveal. So there was definitely more directional...
Yeah, because this was nice when he shows up. It was with the lightning strike, and you just see him suddenly. He wasn't there before.
Part of me even thought that he wasn't going to be there at all. Like, we're going to see him, and then it was going to flash again, and he'd be gone. Then it would just be like a glimpse.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
It could have went that way. It kind of felt like it was setting up for something like that. But no, so I had mostly fun this episode. As much as we're in the bad spell, I actually think this was pretty decent.
It's all right. It has its problems, but it's nowhere near as bad as the last two.
I think partly because we're enjoying the evil kid plot, at least in this one.
Maybe we shouldn't be, but we are anyway.
Yeah. And we got the fun stuff, and the fun stuff from the Black Widow, like mesmerising all the men. I think the problem will still be, though, that I don't know if I really care about the Andrew Packard stuff, because that feels forced when that comes back in. Because we didn't get any of that this episode, unless you count the one scene at the house.
Yeah.
And the James plot, when there's more of that, when there's more of these things, and there's more Nadine that's maybe not quite working for me anymore. But that could just be this episode. But when there's more of these plots that we're not caring about, maybe it's the focus of this one just happened to be off most of the negative things.
That's true. And like I said, the direction did help.
Yeah. That's it. I have to say, I still feel like Cooper being around feels kind of weirdly forced. Like, having him just looking for a house for some reason feels really bizarre. When he showed up in the show, he was there with purpose. He was there on an assignment. Everything was about a mission, about a job. And
they're investigating him, and it feels like they'll be like, "No, you're benched. Go home. We're gonna do the investigation without you able to interfere."
Yeah, that's a good point. Why is the investigation in Twin Peaks with him there?
It being in Twin Peaks, I get, because that's where all the stuff happened. So they're doing their investigation.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like the hearings and him like going to talk to them. Like, why does that have to be in Twin Peaks?
That makes no sense. Why are they sending more agents out to him instead of just calling him back?
these are all valid points. These are all valid points. But no, instead we have this. But I mean, it led to there's some good stuff in there. It's just it feels a little bit forced.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just kind of we have to just accept that it's always going to be a problem at this point in the show, I think.
Yeah, and he's walking about in flannel, which is really weird. I'm so used to him in a black suit. When Audrey walked into his room and he was in the flannel, I thought, oh, she's going to be like no longer attracted to him. She's seen him in flannel now. It's over. It's done.
Yeah.
But nah. So there you go. So yeah, more positive on this one, even if it's not the show's best. Obviously, there's a lot more things to like in this one. I thought. I found myself smelling more, even if there is some plot lines like the James one where that is actively I take out my phone and start looking at Twitter.
It might be the worst plot in the entire show so far.
I can't argue. I don't think of another one. So
yeah, I can't either.
So yeah, by all means. But there we go. That's this episode of Twin Peaks. We'll have another 2 this week, so you're getting them pretty quickly paced this week. So let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. Helps us out a lot. Get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. Individual Twitters are on the screen for general ramblings from either of us. Which, by the way, I seen a photo, Connor. Just to give you one sort of example of a ramble.
Okay.
And I've not made any ginger jokes on this episode, so you're going to get one just now.
Right,
I saw a photo. I think it's is it Norway that has Redhead Day, and I saw a photo of like a parade, and every single person was ginger, and I was like, oh my god, the army's coming for me. It was like the most terrifying thing I've ever seen.
We will rise up.
Oh dear. That's us, guys. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.